Good morning guys. Welcome back to Doga with Danielle. It's a bright, beautiful morning and I thought I would jump right back in there where we left off yesterday when we was talking about the principles of yoga, the underlying parts that are not included in the postures, so the 8 limbs of yoga. So yesterday we spoke about the yamas and the niyamas. Today we're now going to look at the other parts of the 8 limbs of yoga. So the third one is the asana. So asana is the posture. So when you hear of the Sanskrit names for postures such as mountain pose, and it is called Tadasana, it is the asana means the posture, so Tada would be the mountain part. And whilst most of us are quite familiar with the postures being the largest part of yoga, doing my little bit of research there, I did actually discover that the asana wasn't actually meant to be for the different postures. It actually meant a comfortable seated position, and where you could find breathing and meditation comfortable. So for some that would be seated most of the time, and then obviously people must have started to explore and decided that maybe in downward dog it was easier to find their enlightenment. So yeah, even though the asanas are an important part of channeling that energy, it's not the main only element. The element underneath it all was always going to be the breath work and the meditation. So number 4 on the 8 limb chart is Pranayama. So that is breath control. So in terms of breath control, that's obviously to do with regards to your breathing exercises, getting that diaphragm warmed up. Remember, that's a core muscle within our body group, so it needs to be worked. And believe it or not, even just by breathing, you are making that muscle work. And that goes for all the other muscles within the system as well. In terms of the 8 limbs, since the 8 limbs are concerned with preparing for meditation, any breath that is centering and brings us in contact with the present moment helps ready the body and mind to turn the focus inward. So again, bringing it inward to ourselves, and in hope that we therefore find what we're looking for. Because everything we're looking for is actually within inside us, after all. So number 5 on that 8 limbs is Pratyahara, so a withdrawal of the senses. So in terms of withdrawal of the senses, we would be isolating consciousness from the distractions of the outside world, and which are offered by engagement with our senses. So in the final physical preparation for the meditation practices outlined in the final 3 limbs would be the withdrawal of the senses. This can be in itself a form of what we would call mindfulness, in which sensory inputs such as sounds, sights or smells are noticed as external and allowed to pass through us without capturing our full attention. What this, I guess, generally means is once you're in meditation, you end up focusing so much inwardly on yourself and your breath work that any outside sounds, noises, sights, smells will not distract you or deter you from your meditation. In fact, maybe it'll only draw you deeper in with your discipline. Number 6 is dharana, which is concentration, which I guess is what we kind of just touched upon when we're talking about withdrawal of the senses. We then turn our concentration inward. So dharana is the first stage in the inner journey toward freedom from suffering. During this type of meditation, practitioners concentrate all of their attention on a single point of focus, such as maybe their navel or their third eye, or maybe just the movement of your body there. But then I guess that would be feeling, so maybe that isn't part of it. Who knows? You see, still learning, always learning. Number 7, dhyana, meditation. So in this stage of the 7 of the 8 limbs, the practitioner meditates on a single object of their attention to the exclusion of all others. So again, bringing the focus to one point and leaving all other avenues out. While we're accustomed to a type of meditation that attempts to clear the mind of all thoughts and images, this doesn't seem to have been a requisite part of the method described by Patanjali. As long as the attention is focused, the object is not specified. Interesting. What could that mean? I guess you could use an emotion that you're struggling with. You could meditate on that emotion. It's what a fair few people do. I've been known to do it. And you just focus solely on it, unraveling it until it's passed through you. So yeah, I guess you could mean that the object doesn't have to be specified in that essence, as long as the attention is focused. Yeah, that's probably where we could go with that one. Number 8, the final limb, samadhi, pure contemplation. When dhyana is achieved, the practitioner enters a state of samadhi, in which they merge with the object of their meditation. Although this has been interpreted to mean union with the divine or with the entire universe, Patanjali's explanation does not go this far. Okay, so maybe this is when they talk about the top tier of enlightenment that very few people actually reach. So where you would just almost sit entirely in a limbo of contemplation, reveling at the world and its wonders. Maybe that's what that interprets to me. Anyway, I guess there's a more deeper, more depthly structure to that answer than I'm giving right now. But yeah, that basically covers the 8 limbs of yoga. So as you can see, there's far more to it than just doing a posture, feeling good, eating a bit of salad. You have to put those practices into place inwardly as well as outwardly into your world, and that is how yoga can transform life and how it can transform the world around you. Obviously there's so much more than that, but that just covers the basics. There is so much information out there, and if you were to join in and practice that, then you may start to feel the application of that in your life as well. So yeah, that's the 8 limbs of yoga today. I'm going to jump off now and get the camera ready to show you a posture, which many of you are probably aware of, and let's get to it. Okay, so here we are on the mat. I did bring blocks, but then I discovered I probably don't need them, but if you feel you need them, then go ahead and use some props. We're going to do downward dog. Yep. So what better way to represent the 8 limbs other than to do a downward dog, which is all about your arms and your legs, getting some strength there, stretching through the backbone. So the best way to do this is to get onto all fours like this. Find your core. Don't forget that core is very important. So you can move about. You can do maybe a little bit of cat-cow to just find your center. Make sure that your shoulders and wrists are in line. You tuck your toes under, and then as you breathe in and breathe out, lift your bum into the air. Don't worry if you're not quite there yet. I'm going to have to adjust to keep on camera as much as I can. And what you do is you use your hips and your bum to push back into your heels until you get a straight line, hopefully you can see me, across your back. Now the aim is to have your heels flat on the floor, but don't worry about that if you're not there yet. But you can kind of work your way through like this, just stretching out those muscles. As you can see, I'm not there yet. We're not going to have me do that. And you can hold that for about 2 to 3 breaths. Okay, there we go, and then just bring yourself down gently and get comfortable. Hopefully you didn't find that too difficult. As I said, don't worry too much if your knees are bent and your heels are not touching the floor. The main purpose is to keep that straight line up with your back and have your bum pointing towards the sky. That's the main aim of that. And then gradually, as you get used to it and your hamstrings, etc., get used to it, you will find that your legs will start to, and your heels will start to drop down, creating that kind of V shape. And that is what a downward dog is all about. So yeah, thank you for tuning in again today, guys. Hopefully I will see you again tomorrow, and yeah, my Superman fast will be at an end by then. So yeah, I've enjoyed that. I shall be eating again.